Hello guys, welcome to Digital ACT Math Test Prep video presented to you by SX Math Help LLC. We are the math tutors in Montclair, New Jersey. Our contact information is presented here. In case if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And today's topic is going to be again another topic in algebra, which is linear equations and two variables. See, in the previous lecture we saw the linear equations in one variable, and today's topic is about the linear equations in two variables. All right, so just a word of note, I encourage you to pause this video before you see how I solve each of the problems presented here in today's lecture. So that's something I would like you to remember for every lecture that you watch here. So you should make every attempt to pause the video and try to solve the problem on your own. Okay, so today's lecture is about linear equations in two variables. So in the previous lecture, if you may recall, we saw linear equations in one variable. For instance, this is one variable, x plus 3 is 10, or x plus 3 is 2x minus 5. So these are linear equations in one variable. There is only one variable in this equation, x. There's only one variable again in this equation, which is x. Okay, but in today's case you are going to see something like x plus 2y is 10. So you are, as you see here, there are two variables, x and y, or something like 3m plus 4n is 20. So as you see here, again there are two variables, m and n. All right, so today's lecture we are going to focus this side of the story, which is linear equation in two variables. All right, so let's take a deep dive into some of the problems I have listed here. All right, so let's read the first problem here. Find the value of y when x is 25 in the below equation. So as you see here, there are two variables, x and y. Okay, so that's why this becomes a linear equation in two variables. So let's try to solve this problem. So the question is essentially asking you to find the value of y given that x is 25. So essentially you can put x here with this value 25. All right, so let's rewrite this problem. 2x plus 3y is 80, and we can clearly substitute the value of x as 25. So it becomes 2 times 25 plus 3y is 80. So 2 times 25 is 50 plus 3y is 80, and we have to isolate y. So let's remove 50 from both sides. So that will give you 3y on the left side. So 80 minus 50, which is 30. And in order to find y, divide both sides by 3. So you're left with y is 10. All right, that is the answer for this problem. All right, so the next problem is asking you to find the value of m when n is negative 3. Okay, the equation is 5m plus 2n is 4. So they have given the value of n as negative 3. So you can merely substitute n as negative 3. So you are left with 5m plus 2 times negative 3 is 4. So this one, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So we are left with 5m minus 6 is 4. And clearly we have to isolate m, add 6 on both sides. So this will wipe out 6 on the 6's on the left. So we are left with 5m is 4 plus 6, 10. All right, so to find m, divide both sides by 5. So that will give you m as 2. That's the answer for this problem. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next problem. A line is represented by the equation 2x plus 3y is 30. Find the x-intercept and y-intercept of this line. So let's say there's a line like this, right? So this is the x-intercept. This is the x-intercept. It is the value of x on the x-axis when y is 0. So when you try to find x-intercept, you can merely substitute y value as 0. And this is the y-intercept. This is the y-intercept. All right. Y-intercept is nothing but the value of y on the y-axis. This is y-axis. Okay, when you on the y-axis, x is 0. So you can simply find the x-intercept and y-intercept by substituting y as 0 and x as 0 respectively. Alright, let's do that. To find the x-intercept, let's find the x-intercept first. In this equation, 3y is 30. To find the x-intercept, as I said, you can simply substitute y as 0. So we are left with 2x plus 3 times 0 is 30. So 3 times 0 is 0, 0 plus 2x is 2x on the left side is equal to 30. To find x, just divided by 2, so we are left with x as 15. So this is the value of x-intercept, alright, or the coordinate of the x-intercept is 15 comma 0. Alright, so let's do the y-intercept now. Y-intercept, again y-intercept is the value of y on the y-axis where x is 0. So in order to find the y-intercept, merely plug in the value 0 for x in this equation. Alright, so 2 times x, so it becomes 2 times 0 plus 3y is 30. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 3y is 30. So we have 3y as 30. To find y, divide by 3 on both sides. So we left it y as 10. Okay, or in other words, the coordinate of this point y-intercept here is 0 comma 10. Alright, so the x-intercept is 15 and the y-intercept is 10. That's the answer for this problem. Alright, let's move on to the next problem. This has 3 parts. Let's see what that does. Mr. X walks at the rate of 5 miles per hour for W hours. He also runs at the rate of 10 miles per hour for R hours. Okay, so we know we are talking about, when they say miles per hour, they're talking about speed. Excuse me, let me change the font color here. So they're talking about speed, and we're talking about hours, they're talking about time. So clearly when speed and time are involved, distance is also involved, because speed is distance over time, okay, or distance is speed times time when you rearrange the variables here. So let's see what the question is asking us to find. Let's do A. Write an expression that can be used to determine the total distance walked and run. I think this should be run. Run by Mr. X. Okay, let's see. So let's say this is problem A, this is walking. So the first we have to find out how much distance has Mr. X walked. Again, the distance is speed times time. The speed is, he's walking at the speed of 5 miles per hour for W hours. So the total distance he has walked is 5 times W miles. Okay, let's see how far he ran. This is running. Again, distance is speed times time. He ran at 10 miles per hour for R hours. So the speed is 10 miles per hour times the time he ran was R hours. So he covered a distance of 10 times hour at 10 R miles by running. So he walked for 5 W miles, he ran for 10 R miles. So the question is asking you to find the total distance he both walked and ran. So which is 5 W from here and 10 R from here. So 5 W plus 10 R is the total distance he has covered by walking and running. So 5 W plus 10 R is the answer for this question. Okay, that's the answer for A. Alright, next. The next question, B. Let's talk about B. Mr. X had walked and run for a total distance of 50 miles. So that means 5W plus 10R, which we just found, should be equated to 50 miles. So the question B, sorry, excuse me, let's do it in the next page. I don't want to mess this up here. This is for B. So 5W plus 10R is the total distance he has covered by walking and running, as we determined in question A, and this should be equated to 50 because the question says he covered 50 miles in all according to question B. Okay, so that's the answer for this question. So the answer for this question is 5W plus 10R is equal to 50. Okay, keep in mind this is an expression. They ask you to find the expression on this question. So that's why you don't have anything on both sides. You don't have the equal to sign for the answer in problem A. But here you've been asked to find the equation, so that means it has both sides, left and right. Okay, so let's go to C. if Mr. X had walked for 2 hours in a given day, how long did he run on that day? So essentially they say W as 2, he walked for 2 hours. W is the amount of time he walked, R is the amount of time he ran. So in this question they have given W and they are asking you to find R, that is C. Okay, so we have 5W plus 10R is 50. 5 times W is 2 because they say in this question C, Mr. X had walked for 2 hours, plus 10R is 50. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 10R is 50. Remove 10 from both sides. So we're left with 10R as 40 and essentially R as 4. So he ran for 4 hours. He walked for 2 hours because the question states that he walked for 2 hours. He walked for 2 hours and it's asking you to find how long did he run, and he ran for 4 hours. So essentially in this linear equation with two variables W and R, they have given you W and they asked you to solve for R, and they can do the other way around. They can ask you to, they can provide you with the value of W R and ask you to find the value of W. All right. Okay, so let's go to this problem. A store sells red and green apples. A customer bought 4 red apples and 8 green apples for which they paid $40. Write an equation that represents the scenario. Okay, so let's assume so only the quantity of red apples and quantity of green apples are given. So the cost paid by the customer is equal to price per unit times the quantity. Okay, so how much did the customer pay for 4 red apples? The cost paid by the customer to purchase 4 red apples is again price per unit, price per unit of apple. So price is not given here. I'm going to assume the price of red apples is R, price per pound is R, and he purchased, or price per red apple is R, and he purchases 4 red apples. So it is R times 4 or 4R. So let's do the same thing for green apples. So it's the cost paid by the customer to purchase 8 green apples. Okay, so let's see. So the price per unit of green apples is not given, so I'm going to assume it's G, and times the quantity. So this is a formula way. I'm merely substituting, plugging the numbers, and the quantity of green apples he purchases is 8, so it becomes $8G. So he pays $4 to purchase 4 red apples, and he pays $8G to purchase 8 green apples. Okay, and in all he paid $40. So essentially 4R plus 8G is 40. Okay, this is the equation. This is the answer for question A. 4R plus 8G is 40. All right. So let's go to question B here. If each red apple costs $2, what is the cost of each green apple? So we assumed the cost of each red apple as R here. So they've given R as $2. So they're asking you to find G. Let's do that. So we have 4R plus 8G as 40 here. Let's do this. 4R plus 8G is 40. And they say the cost of each red apple is, price of each red apple is $2. So R is 2 now, plus 8G, 8 times G is 40. 8 plus 8G is 40. Remove 8 on both sides. This gets cancelled out. So we are left with 8 times G is 40 minus 8, 32. And to find G, divide both sides by 8. So you're left with G as 32 over 8, which is 4. So it's the price of each unit of green apple is $4. All right. So that's all for today, folks. I hope you were able to gather some insights into the linear equation in 2 variables. All right. I'll see you in another video.